And I salute to that scientists or medical science, at least they detected the COVID-19. This is the disease. They are saying something, we maintain to social distance, so many things. So as a human being, we very happy. At least some still is not coming vaccine, but we are waiting. I think it will take time. So this is still very crucial time is going on. Totally unpredictable. So, sir, I am going my formal keynote address. Today is a historic moment of the AIFMP, All India Federation Master Printers. So we decided our office BRL level, this type of meeting we're going to be start. And this is the first time, I think All India Federation Master Printers going to be held this like a webinar meeting. Being the first in a series of online web council plan to keep up the date and connected. Printers are by nature resistant to sense, but today a new unseen advisory is making us adopt digital means communicating and discussing also. Today, time advantage India will continue this trade of sense as well as have to remote and adapt to a new way of work in a new world. India is uniquely positioned to take a leading portion in the world economy today due to move towards decentralization that is happening to maintain supply chains, and the point will also be at the lead of exports of the new normal. Today I have seen very new face. My first thanks to our renowned a tennis player. I am very happy. First time I've seen in my front of Mr. Moez Pupodiji. So I'm very happy, very happy. So we have seen your so many your games. So we enjoy lots. But today we are sitting front of a online. So we will give these views of leaderships today. And our all well-known Mr. Ojit Shah, most of our GC meeting, he always inviting, and he is faculty and consultant for international business, will speak on how we'll achieve an advantage India. Our senior GC member and past president, Mr. Satish Malhotra, and he is also chairman government relation, and he will speak on government support export COVID-19. And today, Mr. R. Suresh, past president of All India Federation Master Printers, but I want to say some few words for him. In before 16 years, that time I was not also government council member. I made him during his tenure in Guwahati. But today I am very lucky. So he is most senior person today. He is also here. I welcome, because I am very happy, our Madam Dr. T.S. Lakshman Priya, Professor Printing Technology Advances at NN University. And I'm very happy but I know your capability, everything. And all office bearer and our immediate past president, Mr. Ravinder Joshi, our secretary, honorary secretary, Ravinder ji, our past president, so many, Kamalji, and finally, I want hand over to our host and most knowledgeable, Mr. Manoj Mehta. He is a past president and Chairman Export Promotion, and our moderator. So thank you. So because this is our first time today we started, and I think this is not a ending. I think after COVID-19, it will be maybe whenever it will come normal day also. So we start this type of program. It will be continuing because it is very nowadays we cannot move. But one thing is we can say very advantage. But today we cannot immediately we cannot go to Mumbai. Today we cannot go to Delhi. At least this technology help to each others. So we can go every doors to because small printers, big printers, so many things we can through this online. We can talk each others. Thank you so much, Manojji. I'm hand over to you.
Thank you. Thank you, President. Good evening, my dear fellow printers. Madam.
Good evening. Thank you, Mr. President. I request Mr. Manoj Mehta to give us an orientation of the purpose of this web conclave. Over to you, sir.
Yeah. Good evening, my dear fellow printers, President All India Federation of Master Printers, and all office bearers, and all past presidents and GC and JB members. Hello. Hello. Lakshmi?
Yes, sir, we can hear you.
Yeah, there is some voice. I think you mute President. Something. Trust. Good evening, my dear fellow printers. Trust that your families and you are safe and at home. On behalf of All India Federation of Master Printers, I thank you for registering and being part of Advantage India. Friends, to put it simply, let me cite an example of Lord Indra. Once when Lord got upset with farmers, he annoyed there will be no rain for 12 years. On listening this, the farmers begged Lord Indra for mercy and then said rains would only be possible if Lord Shiva played his damru. Now, secretly, Lord Indra requested Lord Shiva not to agree with farmers when they came to him. Friends, the disappointed farmers decided to wait for 12 years. But one farmer kept on digging, treating, and putting manure in soil and sowing the seeds. Even knew that there was no crop to grow. Others often made fun of him. But after 3 years, finally, all farmers asked him that why you are wasting your time and energy, and he replied, I know that no crop will come, but I am doing this. Years, I may forget the process of growing crops and working in the field. I must keep it doing so that I am fit to produce the crop the moment that, there is a rain after 12 years. Listening to this, goddess Parvati praised him before Lord Shiva and said, you may also forget playing damru after 12 years. And the innocent Lord Shiva, in anxiety, just tried to play damru and to check if he could and hear the sound of damru. Immediately there was rain. And farmer who regularly working on the field got the crop while others got disappointed. So friends, it is a practice which makes the man perfect, which makes you the perfect. So while this time of COVID-19, which is going on, we are at home for 2 months, we must the practice. We should be always on the toes. Dear friends, as you know, many corporates will turn away from China to other world countries for print and packaging requirements. And Advantage India will come to those who keep themselves updated with latest trends and happening innovations. Friends, Advantage India is the All India Federation of Master Printers initiative to add your knowledge about print and packaging business in India and worldwide. I sincerely thank our industry gurus, eminent personalities who helped us bring forth this wonderful webinar. And I thank Padma Sri Mahesh Bhupati, who has accepted my invitation and joined to this webinar. I am very much thankful to him on behalf of All India Federation of Master Printers and all speakers now. I thank to Ajit Bhai, Satish ji, and Suresh ji, and all for making, and above all, I thank Lakshmi Priya ji for conducting nicely the webinar from day one. So dear friends, I sign off by saying, don't wait for rain, but make the rain happen, and be prepared and get set for Advantage India. God bless. Lakshmi ji.
Thank you, sir.
Yeah.
Just a minute. So, thank you, sir.
Yeah, can you show the video what we have planned, Lakshmi ji?
Yeah, sir.
Yeah.
We'll play the video now.
Yeah, it's all about silver lining for India. No sound?
Audio, yeah, audio.
Start from beginning. Full screen. No audio.
Audio.
Audio. I think we'll play at the end, Lakshmi, if audio is not there.
Audio.
We can start from beginning, please. If audio is there. Or leave it. No, ma'am, it is not working. Leave it then. No worries. Next.
Yeah, we'll stop that.
Layoffs in the past 2 weeks. This is especially true for those export-oriented manufacturing factories. No more purchase orders from the United States and European countries. Employees resumed work on March 3rd, but received a notice on March 21st that their final day is March 23rd. In a garment factory, employees were told to stop work halfway through their working day.
急急忙忙把厂开起来，不到1个月放假了。
大家手来帮我看一下，我什么有事情啊？有一个历史的影响， 公司的货应该很多，卖不出去。公司的资金力现在是这个问题，希望你们理解。下午我会安排财务给你们把你们的工资跟你们的好了你们谈的，希望你们理解。就这样，大家好。
A foreign trade factory in Jiaxing City, Zhejiang Province, went bankrupt. Employees line up to get their layoff package.
Manoj bhai, would you like to say something about the video?
Manoj bhai, please unmute.
I am audible.
Yeah.
Unmute. Mute किया हुआ है मनोज भाई.
Yeah, sir.
Hello, I'm audible now.
Yeah, sir.
Yeah. So, friends, this is all story about China. As for Nomura, we have discussed last time also. Some 72 industries went out of China, and 42 has gone to Vietnam, and 3 to India, and some more to here and there. And Mr. Modi has already promoted that we'll give you double the space what you have in China. Welcome to India. So it's all about the opportunity and with challenges. So definitely we need to have that infrastructure. We need to have proper everything in place. All even taxation should be also taken into consideration. Then only it is a golden chance for India. Lakshmi, you can please start the next. Thank you very much.
Thank you, sir. So having set the base now, we have the silver lining, and India has better number of companies are leaving away. So that
Voice. Lakshmi. 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 Hello. Hello. Madam. Hello.
I think she's gone. I think she has to sign back in. I think she just quickly got cut off.
She got cut off?
Yeah. She just informed me. We can refer to the next speaker. We invite Mr. Mahesh Bhupati to take on.
Yeah, please, Mahesh. Yeah, please.
Hi. Yeah. So, firstly, thank you for inviting me, Manoj bhai. For all of you who don't know how Manoj bhai knows me, I have got into a business with his son Jinesh over the last 2 years. We are building India's first beauty platform, which is related to celebrities. So we are making fragrances, beauty products, hygiene products with Virat Kohli, Salman Khan, Lara Datta, and a lot more celebrities. So we're making everything from fragrance to sanitizers. And because of that, and because of Jinesh and Manoj bhai's relationships, we're obviously using a lot of, I think, you all for the printing business as well. So thank you for having me. I've been asked, I think, to speak about my take on leadership. I don't know if you want me to start with a few words, or do we do a question and answer, Manoj bhai, or how do you want to
No,
do
no,
it?
please start with few words. People like to listen you. First of
Okay.
all.
So
One of the best incidents in your life on leadership, or because you are a leader, you've been to US Open and UK Open and so many things, even Padma Shri and whatnot, the laurels you have. So please go ahead.
yeah, so for me, it's, most of my examples over the last 20 years are related to sport in general, obviously because of tennis. And, I've been very successful in doubles and mixed doubles. So it's always part of a team. So, when you are part of a team, I think there are a few ingredients that makes you kind of a successful team. I think one of those is the ability to use each other's strengths and weaknesses to the maximum. I think always pick team members who do not have the same strengths as you. So you all can complement each other and make the team one. I mean, for me, I always picked a partner who were making up for my shortcomings on the tennis court, and vice versa. So even today in the corporate world, we have, a very large team, but everyone has their strengths and weaknesses. And to make the most of their strengths and to support them uh, in their weaknesses through your strengths, so that people can learn and people can obviously get better. So that has always been my mantra. I mean, there is no perfect person in this world, and if you're able to find people who can complement what you don't know and what you're not able to do, I think that's most of the time what makes you a good leader. I think especially in today's scenario, I mean, leadership comes with a lot of different caveats on how to manage a team, how to communicate with a team, how to work in a crisis. um, are you able to kind of solve problems? I mean, today every business has a lot of problems, and again, empowering a team, I believe, is very critical. For me, having your core team members being allowed to make decisions, being allowed to own those decisions, being allowed to make mistakes and learning from those decisions, I believe is a very critical aspect to making them feel that they are part of the organization in a bigger way than normal. So I think, tennis is a very easy sport for me to give you examples, because it's only two people on the court. So if I had a bad forehand, I always picked, Leander had a great forehand, I had a great backhand. So, we were a very good team. But I think in the corporate scenario, we have people in sales, people in marketing, people in production, people in logistics. So if all of us kind of find each other's shortcomings, build a team together, empower that team, complement each other, work as a unit, and problem solve together, I think that is the only way forward. I mean, today the world is changing. Today, because of technology, as Manoj Bhai said, so many things can be done sitting in your house. I think it's going to be like this for the next 2-3 years. I think a lot of people are going to realize that you can save a lot of rent in office space by being as productive, or if not more productive, being at home. So yeah, I think it's
And
yeah. Go ahead.
yeah, Mahesh, what do you feel about Advantage India?
I
Looking
think
at this.
see, I've played for India for 22, 23 years, so I'm as big a patriot as you can get.
No,
Uh, you
looking at
know,
this COVID situation.
yeah, I think I would like to believe it is Advantage India, but unfortunately, for the last 10 years in doing business, I know the challenges there are to do business in India, right? The red tape that exists, the government permissions, the challenges. I mean, a lot of people can say, Advantage India, please come, we'll give you land the size of Luxembourg. I mean, these are comments that are going to be easy and they grab headlines, but unless the government can make life easier for businesses, permissions, registrations. I mean, I can tell you just an example that we have been trying, right? We have been trying to get a drug license for the past 5 weeks to sell sanitizers, and
Yeah.
the challenges and the permissions, it's just so challenging in my opinion. I wish those challenges can go away, and if those go away, then I mean, India can be a superpower, very
Yeah, then
quickly.
there will be silver linings.
Yeah.
Mahesh, you run a lot of tennis academies, Mahesh Bhupati tennis academies all over India, I think. You have many. So how you feel that the future, you want to give some message to the future students or
So,
whatever,
yeah.
future
So I
generation?
started tennis academies only because I believe that sport teaches you a lot of qualities that are going to help you in life as you grow older, right? For me, everything, I did not go to school. I dropped out of school in the 6th grade. So everything I've learned has come from the wins and losses and travel that I've done in tennis. So I believe that sport teaches kids a lot of things, and all those things are important regardless of what you do when you grow older in life. So that's why we have 10, 12 academies across the country. A lot of those academies actually in schools where we do during the PT period we be teaching kids tennis, how to win, how to lose, how to deal with adversity. So yeah, I mean it's a small part of what we do, but it's just my way of giving back.
Great. Uh, Madam, you are there? I think she is out. Yeah,
Back.
please.
Yeah.
Yeah. So please go ahead. Yeah, madam.
Thank you very much, sir. That was a very neat.
Thank you, Mahesh. Thank you,
short
Mahesh, for your
Thank you.
nice address. Madam will take over now, please.
Thank you very much, sir. You have compared your sports team with the corporate departments and said teamwork really works. So that's a very nice analogy. And then with respect to the challenges in Advantage India, you have highlighted that government's role is very crucial. We do have a number of speakers here. The other speakers are going to talk to us about what can be put forth to the government. So that is what AIFMP is also planning to do. Our next speaker in the line is Mr. Ajit Shah. Mr. Ajit Shah is a faculty and consultant for international business. He is an import-export consultant for more than 35 years. He is an ex-editor of All India Import-Export Weekly Journal. He has addressed members of the Federation in the GC and is regularly delivering his lectures for various colleges, banks, and other organizations. He has received the SME Excellence Award in 2000 by the SME Chamber of India and is a member in various boards such as the All India Stainless Steel Industries, Bombay Industries Association, etc. He has also authored several books on import-export, duty, policies, and taxation. He is here with us to talk about how we can achieve Advantage India. Mr. Ajit Shah, over to you.
Good afternoon to all of you. President Devyajyoti sir, Manoj bhai, Sri Mahesh Bhupati ji, Satish Malhotra ji, Mr. R. Suresh, Mr. Sharma ji, Kamal Chopra ji, Ravindra Joshi sir, and our moderator, Dr. Lakshmi Priya. Let me start with a famous proverb. Light and angel needs no introduction. The same way, for the Indian printing industry, export or international business hardly needs any introduction. We all are aware that the present situation, COVID-19, is a unique, never thought of it. All of a sudden it has come and it has changed all the assumptions, all the parameters, all the calculations of the entire world. Since export and import is a global scenario, even this COVID-19 also is a global one. So what will happen? Our focus is that after this COVID-19, where the lockdown will go away, when the situation will reach to a normality, what will be the situations? Please understand that because of these situations, because of this virus, there are going to be several changes. Our focus should be to look at what are the changes which is going to come. Understand one thing very, very, very clearly. What was pre-corona will not be the same as after the same. So what are the areas in which these changes are likely to take place? I will list out few of them. The first one is the demand, the nature of the demand. The goods which were earlier demanded will now may not be demanded, may be demanded less, or a new demand may emerge. I'll give you a very simple example that as far as our industry is concerned, I feel that from printing, print job, more will go towards the packaging sides of it. Packaging will have a much more better advantage and the positive impact on the demand side. Let's try to understand it a little more before. Last week, I had an opportunity to listen to Pharma Roundtable, in which Mr. A.K. Jain from IPCA laboratory was a part of the speaker, and the amount of the statistics and the data he has given, it gives a very clearly an aspect that what is a strong, bright, long future for the packaging industry is there. So friends, the first takeaway for all of you is that if you want to take advantage India, you want to take the benefits of this new change which are going to take place, remember one thing very, very clearly: you cannot achieve something better by doing the business in the same way as you were doing in the past. So the changes which are going to take place. Another thing is that the food now, instead of a restaurant and in-house, there'll be a lot of food parcels and deliveries will be there. There also will be a very good scope for the packaging which is required for the food purpose or food delivery purpose is also one of the good scope which is going to emerge. Similarly, you can say that courier business, e-commerce also going to go up, and obviously e-commerce, packing the parcels, the boxes in which the goods are being transferred, will have a scope for this. The second change which is expected is in the supply pattern, the way the goods were being exported. Earlier, the earlier principle was just in delivery, that may go on changing. There will be a changes of people's buying the goods. The pattern of the supply will undergo several changes as per the requirement. The quality. The world was very regularly buying high quality also. Now, because of the economic situation, because of the various aspects, the more demand will be in the middle quality products rather than a very, very high quality product. People will definitely try to see and go for the high quality product only when it is a must. It will be more for the people to go for a workable quality, affordable quality, reasonable quality, and that is what will be one of the change which it will be taking place. One more change which I'm looking at will happen will be on the finance. Several companies, because of the economic effects, will also have an adverse impact on their finance, their banking, their monetary aspect. The very few companies having a deep pocket will also have an adverse effect because of this coronavirus lockdown. So the companies which are earlier very comfortably giving you the advance or opening an LC will also have an impact because they also have to depend more on their bank finance, and friends, bank also may not be ready or having a finance to go ahead with this. Business organization also will keep on changing. That earlier the organization which it was there making a manufacturing at other places, this also undergo a change. All these are the factors which will bring the changes in the global business, in the international environments, in the world over. The most effective impact which will be on India, like with any other countries, is that the China. We all know that China is a global hub for manufacturing. 80%, I was told, of the total global printing requirement is being manufactured by the companies which are situated in China. China is not today favorite for many. USA and China trade war is well known to us. Several countries have decided to work and get their factory moved from China. Japan has already offered a package that the factories from in Japan, of Japan in China are going out of it. Manoj Bhai has already given that X number of the country from the companies have already moved out of it. Yes, China, the world's largest source of supply, will not be anymore those manufacturing hub. What will happen? The effect is very clear. The China factory, if you want to close it, if you, for whatever the reason, political, economical, or a combination thereof, you will have to manufacture it somewhere else. There are possibilities that many of those manufacturers will go back to their home countries. That means the companies which were earlier a manufacturing hub in China will go anywhere outside the China. My dear friend, here we should not make a mistake in our understanding, and we should not be a wishful thinker that all the factories which will get closed in China will come to India. No. At the moment, as on today, the present data very clearly says that for many people, Vietnam, where the single government decisions are taken, is a favorite for many. We have Malaysia, we have Thailand, Indonesia, Philippines. They are our competitors in our neighboring countries, Asian countries. So we will be one of them. That means I will put my statement in this way: because of these changes, because of this virus, because of the COVID-19 lockdown throughout the global, many opportunities will come. It will emerge. But the question is not that. The question is whether we in India are ready to grab this. We are prepared to receive that. Now, for this purpose, I see there are two main elements or the rider on which I would like to build up my remaining speech. It's a wishful thinking that they should come to us. The moment industry come into the country, there is an economic drivers, there are benefits, there are advantages to all people at large and government also. So there are two riders, there are two elements which will be responsible for this purpose, for this. The first one is the efforts of the government. Yes, as it was mentioned, that government has offered double the space to the people who wants to come to India. Land is not the only solution. Well, the Ministry of Commerce has already arranged the various meetings, and word which they have used is all the people who wants to come to India will offer them red carpet welcome. Yes, ease of doing a business. We are also have to be ready for this part of it. Government is definitely doing its own job. Government also has its own limitations. Taxes, revenues are not coming. Responsibility on a society, on a social, on a country is equally increasing. There are packages and the financial assistance is required and demanded by different sector of this. So how much we will get from the government is the time which will tell us that how much we'll get. But yes, we need the support of the government. We need the strong support from the government, and only the people will come. Fortunate enough we are that our present Prime Minister is advocating about our country in an international global way, the way it should be. He is icon. He is regarded as a very good, strong leader. He has a reputation, and his marketing skill is beyond a doubt. India will definitely have an advantage of this. There is a room, there's a possibility, there's a hope, and there's a scope that the industry will get attracted over here. But friends, in my subject of the speech, it is mentioned that how we can achieve advantage India. I think I will focus on the word achieve. Even in today's this webinar, the tagline also is saying the same thing, that we have to be a captain of our problem and let play a role of a captain. in every test match, in every cricket match, when you start a new match, you have to be ready, and your how many centuries you have done, how many wickets you have done in the previous has no relevance. Every match is a new thing. Accordingly, I will also say for our fellow printers that let us go and work it out on the following prescription. I will just like to give a small prescription as what we need to do is out. Friends, it is an opportunity which is there little ahead of us. But the question is, are we ready to grab this opportunity? International market is full of opportunities. You may think that you are a champion, but in the world market, there are challengers. Do you have a skill set which can be measured at the global scale? So for that, if we do not have, I think we have a time to make our preparation in such a way so that when the opportunity comes to us, we should be able to handle this, we should be able to grab them, we should be able to bring the benefits and the advantage to our home. I always
Thank you, sir.
Yeah.
Yeah, sir. Thank you very much, sir. That was a very nicely put fundamental base idea, saying that we do have a very nice opportunity of the manufacturing units coming to India probably, and then we have to be prepared. We have to know where the demand is, and we have to also know that the government support is required. We would like to hear more from you during the Q&A, sir. There are so many questions coming up in the chat.
Perfect.
So maybe you can answer specific questions during the Q&A. So many people have asked questions.
Oh, sure.
Shall we move over to the next speaker? The next speaker is Mr. Satish Malhotra, past President, Chairman, Government Relations, AIFMP. He is the Managing Partner of Swan Press. He is also the Chairman of Paperboard, and Paper Products panel of CapExcel. He currently chairs the Standing Committee of Government Relations in the AIFMP and is the right person to talk to us about how government will support print exports post-COVID. He will share our experiences based on the exports he is already doing in Swan Press. He exports books and paper stationery products. He is also specializing in commercial print and packaging. He has also made a survey of his fellow printers who are into exports, who have seen success and failure. So we would like to hear from you, sir, Mr. Satish Malhotra.
Yeah, hello. Now you can hear me?
Yeah, sir.
Okay. Good afternoon to all, and thank you very much for giving me this opportunity. Well, you know, this pandemic has made the global business community to rethink their global procurement needs, and thus to develop alternative sources other than that out of China. We shall now discuss how we as the exporter community and how the government should focus to help the exporting print industry to garner a larger share of this international business. To be a worthy and a sustainable exporter, we need to ensure to produce quality products and services at reasonable and acceptable prices. Standardization of quality is a must. The attitude has to change. You know, there is only one way to do a job, and that is to do it perfectly right. There are no compromises, no second chances. In international markets, if goods get rejected, there is no recourse. So the success mantra is to develop a niche and be an expert and not be a jack of all trades. And that will really make us a sustainable exporter, and we will only be able to qualify for the benefits from the government once we are able to achieve these attributes. So myself as the chairman in CapExcel for the paper and printed paper products panel, it is my duty to be the bridge between all my manufacturer and paper product manufacturers and converters in India with the government. So it is my duty to bring all the schemes to the members, and also to bring all the concerns of the members to the government, so as to get suitable solutions for the industry. Well, what from the government? The government's job is to provide us a conducive economic and work environment, empowering us to overcome international competition, wherein there are lesser issues of compliance and bureaucratic hassles. Easing of labor laws. We have already started seeing that labor laws are being eased, and various states have already started the process. So there should be an intent to make us a low-cost economy, which further calls for a reduction and rebating of high taxes and in various costs, even such as fuel and energy. To make ourselves globally competitive, the golden rule for exports is that we are to export our goods and not our taxes. So we need policies which are going to strip the incidence of taxes which have got embedded into the input costs, and that is what the government tries to do in its various schemes, to provide us a level playing field wherein we can try to prove competitive. To what extent we have done it is a different question, but that is the endeavor, and that is the mission with which from Capexcel we also approach the government to get more and more out of the government to bring us that level field. To fulfill these objectives, the government has already various schemes. There are enough export promotion schemes, right from interest subvention to neutralize the high cost of interest, MEIS scheme to give us benefits to merchant exporters for the licenses, SEIS scheme, duty exemption and remission schemes, advance authorization schemes, DFIA, export houses, trading houses, start trading houses with their benefits, EPCG, and then we even have the TEE scheme where towns of export excellence can be created to specialize in certain special products. And then from the government, besides this, under this new changing environment, in export, what is very imminent is to have a great thrust on export marketing. So thus export marketing, marketing studies, and penetration of export markets and initiatives concerning to that is what we at Capexcel, along with the Ministry of Commerce, try to do to our best. One of the major asks, and to some extent we have also been successful with the government, is that today all the embassies all over the world are now trying to act as enablers, except they have become responsive to the exporter community today. From when we as exporters approach these embassies and their foreign attaches and want information on any survey information, market intelligence, report on certain buyers, I mean, today the embassies are already trying to develop all these kind of powers within them. In the marketing access initiatives, we have been always given, we have been always allowed to go to trade fairs, and we are supported by the government. But what I see in today's world, traveling and trade fairs are now almost not happening. And just yesterday, I received a mail from the Frankfurt Messe that shortly there was a paper world exhibition which was to be happening in Dubai. It got cancelled. So now they are trying to conduct a virtual trade fair. So they are trying to evaluate, and they are interacting, and soon we may have initiatives where even trade fairs, B2B meetings, buyer-seller meetings may also happen on the virtual platform. And then from the government, we will request that all what they were support they were giving us for the traditional trade fairs may also get extended to the new way of working, which our export community is going to soon face. We at the government, we have also asked the government, and the government is also looking into, it is the review of the free trade agreements with the ASEAN countries. As we are finding that these have not worked to the advantage of India. They were done historically 5-7 years back. Time has come to readdress them and make them equitable for our international trade. With this pandemic, our buyers, who are the international buyers, they are also now facing a lot of financial stress, and thus that is going to require our exporter community to meet a wider credit cycle. I think the exporters, the bankers, and the government will have to come forward and look at policies. In case we are to keep all our customers in our fold or to bring new in our fold, we will have to come forward with solutions for easy access to credit, and that too at rates which are comparable with other countries, so that we can be competitive. The role of the ECGC, the insurance, the export guarantee cover, that is also going to become more important because there are going to be bigger extending of credit, and I think one has to very intricately study it, and exporters need to take benefit out of it. Friends, as is the theme of our presentation, that we need to have the environment so that we can invite the foreign print and packaging companies to set base in India. Well, for that, as has been discussed earlier, we definitely need to have the companies are looking forward for lesser bureaucracy, easing of labor laws, and companies should be free to adapt their work as per their market forces. The market for labor requires more flexible laws, and that would persuade companies to use India as a cheap labor and labor source and workers. We need better infrastructure, customs and port handling, discipline in shipping charges. No doubt, India has improved its ranking in the ease of doing business, but I still feel that issues like enforcement of contracts, copyrights, intellectual property, these are still matters which need to be addressed so that we can effectively create an environment so that companies or the print and packaging companies globally will feel like coming to India, set base over there, serve the Indian community, and also do exports. Well, friends, thank you very much. Thank you.
Thank you, sir. You have spoken about the need for quality products and standardization in the current setup, so that it would be essential for printers to go in for exports. You have also said that it is better to specialize on specific products. And then you went on talking about the possible government role for the post-COVID situations to increase the print exports. You have highlighted on ease of labor laws, stripping certain taxes, putting an emphasis on the export market by roping in embassies. And then the future you say is virtual trade fairs, and we have to get prepared for this. We will go on to the next speaker who has more information for us on these. Mr. Suresh, past President, AIFMP, CEO, STR Reddyar and Sons, Cochin. He is the Director of Kerala Chamber of Commerce and Industry. He is the Secretary General of Forum of Asia Pacific Graphic Arts, and his company is one of the topmost printing and packaging establishments in India with a reputation of over 120 years. So over to sir, he will be talking to us about exports to an Asian countries post-COVID-19. Please take over, Mr. Suresh. Just a sec, sir. Right, sir.
Unmute. Yeah.
Okay. Thank you, Rashmi. So today I've given an opportunity to talk about exports to all Asian countries post-COVID-19. Well, my big brother Sadish Bhai and most people are talking about the export possibilities and all these things. Now we have to see, we are an Asian country. So as a Secretary General of FEGA, Mr. Manoj Bhai is also one of the members representing India. So what I have learned myself, or what I've seen myself, is a lot of changes has to be, to carry a lot of changes. For example, as said rightly, the China, most of the companies from China is coming out. But the question is, our speaker said about the countries like Vietnam, Cambodia, Philippines, Indonesia. So all this, Sri Lanka. So all these countries are ready to observe the changes. So the government is giving clear picture for investors to be there. Fine, that's not a big issue. The question is now how India printers can able to export. So what is going to be happen? What we analyzed as we had a joint meeting with the Asian countries, myself and Manoj Bhai and all. So there, what we came to know that India, after China, India is the biggest populated country in the world. We are, of course. So here the only problem is our infrastructure and the policy, everything has to be streamlined. So that's a part of that. So what is going to happen near future? A lot of companies, those who are going to be in the Asian countries, printers are ready to have a joint venture with the Indian printing company. As you know that today only a few people are exporting from India, and the problem we are facing is our discipline. We are not have any discipline in our manufacturing assessment. We are easy going because our style of operation is easy going. So that attitude has to be changed. A part of that, so the joint venture is going to be very soon. It will be take place. For that, the parameters, a lot of parameters has to be created. For example, you need an apex body to take over this. When I say apex body, like Capexil or export promotion, similar way, the association, we have a lot of association, regional associations, and our federation is also there, very strong in the world. One of the best federation in the world is AIFMP. So we have affiliated association also very strong in India. So affiliated associations create a platform or a group of people to look into the export market, to give inputs. So the inputs means Sadish Bhai has already mentioned here. So there are Chamber of Commerce, a part of the embassies. In like American embassy, they have a people who look after the commercial aspects. So similar way, all the Indian embassies all over the world, except in Asian countries, so they should gather the informations about the potential of orders and all this, and joint ventures, etc., etc. So here, when you have apex body, when I say an apex body, like association should create apex body, it will definitely help, because today you will appreciate that India maximum micro and small and micro units are more than a big units. So we have to feed these micro units. Our brothers, a lot of brothers, 200,000 printing industry in India. So these people should also come up, and for that, they cannot go and talk to the exporters, and they don't know what to do, what not to do, because a lot of things has to look into the matter. Especially now, one of our speaker was telling rightly, packaging is going to be a big boom in the market. Then how many people know about packaging? It's not that easy to start with the packaging. So all our micro or small printers should take into consideration that if a body is there, we must have some sort of cluster. A cluster means vendors or cluster to form. For example, east, south, north, all the places are there. For example, south is very near to certain countries like Thailand, Singapore, all these countries. North will be again, that again Thailand is also very, East Thailand is also very nearby. Burma is nearby. So here we have to locate certain parts in India. There we must have apex body to look into the perspectives of bringing these people and order, what type of order we can able to take in Indian market. And there are very varieties of orders. So we must know what type of things can be easy to take over in Indian market. So these are all the things, very important aspects. And today I came to know that some of the state, they reformed the labor law. Very good. So all these things has to be, I think it's eye-opening for our Indian market. Our printers should come up, and so many things has to learn, which federations and associates should help them for this also. Now, finally, I would like to mention that definitely most of the countries, Asian countries, are very happy to have association with the Indian printers. The only thing is they don't know where to contact, how to contact, whom to contact. So this is what I was said, where there is a body is there, definitely we can invite people also. We can invite and we can ask them to present it and the quality parameters, how to how to have a joint ventures. Because when you do the productions in India, definitely it will be cheaper comparing with the other countries. When you talk about Vietnam, when you talk about Cambodia, when you talk about Sri Lanka, but we have a capacity much more better than them. We have infrastructure much more better than that. So there, only thing is, how to tackle this matters very wisely. So when you do that, I'm sure that, especially when I had a talk with a Singapore company about a couple of months back. So they say that, they have already visited the southern side. They have visited some of these printers. They are very happy. But only thing is they say, Mr. Suresh, the only problem is they are not able to understand your printers. They are not able to understand the limit. That means, the commitment, how to fulfill the commitment and easy going. So here we need a quality concept of teaching these people. We have to educate these people. When you do that, I'm sure that our Indian printing industry can do wonders. This is what exactly I'd like to say. Thank you.
Thank you.
Sir. Thank you, sir. The point that we have to take home is that you have identified that there are a number of companies that can start in India, manufacturing units can invest in India, and we, the SMEs especially, has to be fed. And therefore, for that, you need to have a apex body. The formation of an apex body is essential, which will set up the environment for SMEs to take over small print jobs. So, and you have shared your experience with the meet that you had with the Asian countries. Thank you very much, sir. Now we shall move on to the question and answers. We would like to have the participants raise hand and ask your question. When you raise your hand, we will unmute you, and one by one, in a serial manner, we would be able to allow you to ask questions. Please raise your hands.
Mr. Sashikumar, if you are there, you can please ask your question.
Hello.
Yeah.
I have something to add on, if you don't mind. Can I go ahead, Manoj Bhai?
Hello.
Manoj
I'm
Bhai,
audible?
can I?
I'm audible?
Yeah, you are audible.
Yeah, please go ahead. Because this question and answer session, so if you have any questions to any speakers, you are most welcome.
No, Manoj Bhai, I have something to ask Ajit Bhai.
Yeah.
Ajit Bhai, I have a dream. I have a dream to make 1 rupee equal to $1. And this COVID-19, which has come up, I think it has given a different dimension to understand that change is constant. And when I say change is constant, because every printers of this country have to learn to rethink how to do the business. And as Mahesh Bhupati is talking about how to take the advantage of your partner or your colleague on the field. So now the time has come where we need to see, and my dream is this, how can we make 1 rupee equal to $1, looking at the present circumstances, and how do you expect AIFMP to play a role like CIA or FICCI with the government? And this is very, very important. Management by theory is one side, but management by practices is another side. I think the time has come. The time has come. We'll have to now rethink all our thought process to see that India become such a big exporter that rupee will become to $1. And imagine what will be the situation during that time. Yeah,
Ajit Bhai, your comments.
Well,
Ajit Bhai.
Let me start with the positive notes that yes, average Indian is much, much better than average citizen of any other country. We are no less. We are not a poor country. We are poorly managed country. So what answer to your question is, to be a successful international partners, there are many areas in which we need to improve. But if am I to only highlight only one thing, and that's all, then I will say that Indian exporters, Indian manufacturers should have extremely good delivery. Delivery is the one thing where you should be extremely focused, 100%. Your commitment should be patthar ki lakir. Once you say this is the date on which I will deliver, whatever it may happen, there will be 100 reasons for you not to deliver on that day. And that is the reputation which we are having it. So what is important is that if all the Indian exporters, I go by Dr. Sahab, your word, the theory and practice. Forget all theory, forget all practice. Train and teach, educate our exporters only on a one line, how to remain committed in a delivery. I always say delivery on time, every time. Consistency. Once the overseas buyer gets tremendous confidence that yes, here is a person who can deliver the goods as per his promise, nobody can touch your shoulder from the back, and you will be always the winner. All rest of the things will take its place. So my last sentence is, it is the attitude which we have to change it. We have to be more and more and more of a discipline, because we have so many other qualities already inbuilt. We need to well sharpen it and bring the advantage India to hope, enjoy, and celebrate. Thank you.
Yeah. Madam.
Thank you, sir. Anybody who wants to ask questions in the participants, please hand raise.
And we have questions, madam, already listed for Mahesh.
There are only comments, sir. They have appreciated.
Yeah.
People have appreciated.
Mm-hmm. So I have a question, madam.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, Mahesh. After hearing everybody, after hearing all the speakers about Advantage India and future, how it's going to be after this delayed lockdown and what's on and so on, and it might go for 1 month more. And what is your take? What do you feel that where the industry is growing? You know definitely about packaging industry now. So how you see the future of India and exports mainly from India to other countries? How you see?
And obviously, from our perspective, I can only talk about what we've been exporting the last 6-7 months. I think there is going to be a slowdown because I think people in general are a little nervous about getting packages. Just in general, it doesn't matter what's in it. If even the top people, I mean, we've been talking to a lot of the big industrialists also because we're providing some sanitizers to them. They're also seeing a slowdown. So I think in general, it's going to be one year at least before things return to normal on the business front. I think, it depends on, today you saw on Twitter, the Kerala government said that they have only 16 cases left, all of them in hospital, but they're getting ready for the third wave of corona to come into the state. So unfortunately, I think this is going to be a way of life till there's a vaccine and the whole world is vaccinated. I think we're going to have to live with it. We're going to have to protect the elderly and the kids and find a way to get back. But exports, I think it'll take at least a year for us to get back to normal pre-COVID numbers.
Mahesh, I have a question for you. How did you enjoy, your life as a sportsman?
You're on mute, sorry. Was that the end of the question?
I'm saying that I believe that you were the leading sportsman, and we always used to, feel proud when you were playing on the, grass court, But how do you compare yourself those 20 years compared to now your 20 years as a businessman or as an industrialist?
Well, it's two very different things. I think
I know.
both are very enjoyable. Tennis was always my passion. I did not know how far I would go. Regardless, the dream was to play at Wimbledon. So there was never any specific goals set, but luckily we were able to overachieve. But in business, I guess it's different. You set out a vision every year. You set out sales targets every month. You have to drive the team and drive yourself to make sure you achieve those targets because you have investors that you're answerable to. You have employees that you're answerable to if numbers are not happening, because as an owner, you are responsible regardless of the results. So I think both have been extremely enjoyable. Both have been extremely challenging, but I would say business is definitely, a lot more variables, so a lot more challenging in general than sport, in my opinion.
So we have Mr. Dayakar ready here.
Yeah.
Good evening,
please.
everyone. Good evening, everyone.
So shall we turn your video on?
No, sorry, I am not in a position to have video.
Okay, sir.
I would like to ask a self-question, all the participants here, how many tries they have done to export their product? See, simply sitting in our office, AIFMP or any associations cannot give a direct order. Most of the people from Bombay must have been heard about Bozango, Waterford. Those people are doing thousands of crores, hundreds of crores. Now they are targeting thousands, maybe very few years. So I would request all the printers, you have to explore where our products are acceptable, where our products are fit to export, and then you have to try. Definitely you have to try. Maybe today, Satishji and Sureshji, they have not just started exporting, just sitting at their office. They must have traveled at least thousands of times to all these places. So since being a printer, I don't export anything, but as a machine suppliers, we are doing export more than 20-25 countries, especially in Gulf and Africa. So we keep on tracking them, keep on traveling them, those countries. Unless until we don't spend our time and money, we cannot expect that export business. And secondly, what AIFMP can do it, we can select some countries, where our products are printed products. Probably it may be monocartons, probably it may be cartons, or it may be flexible, anything. then we can put some efforts there, that particular countries. Maybe we may talk to the print association there. We can have a B2B meetings there with our printers who are planning to export their products. That is how we can improve our export sales, definitely. And we are all talking about silver line and advantage to India. I would like to inform each and every attendee in this webinar. The government has to change first. As Mr. Mahesh Bhupati says, 5 weeks is waiting for his license for producing sanitization. So who is losing that? As a nation, there is a loss. As a entrepreneur, Mr. Mahesh also is losing. So basically, government has to do a lot of hard work to come out of this ease of doing business, a single window policy. Like if we talk about Hyderabad, Telangana, last 5 years, they have issued 4,000 single window permissions within 16 days. 17th day, you are deemed to start your production or construction. So these kind of things has to be done, government, definitely. Then only we can definitely have the advantage of COVID situation from the China.
Got you, Dayakar. I think Satish will answer. Satish likes to answer this. Satish?
Yeah, Manoj bhai.
Mute. Yeah, unmute.
Have I to unmute?
Yeah, okay. Go ahead.
Am I
audible? Now audible. Yeah, audible. Yeah, go ahead.
Okay. Yeah, yes, friends. See, in my interaction with various printers at Capexcel, because they interact with most of the members who are registered with us, one of the immediate concern is, we have tried to see what has led to people to succeed and what has led people not to succeed. And rightfully, as has been said, when you are exporting, there has to be a complete attitudinal change. In India, we still have an attitude of chalta hai, maybe next time I'll do better. Now, these things have no value. So before even you approach your customers, prospective customers, you should develop the capability of doing standardized production. We don't, the quality is again very relative. For the acceptable price, you have to give a standardized production. If you have 10,000 products, all have to be identical. Then your commitment has to have value. You have to meet timings. So, unless you have that kind of mindset, you are not going to sustain your business. Even if after a lot of effort, you end up getting an order, if your performance is not up to the mark, you would be losing that and you will be again required to start all over again. So people who have really mastered this, they have been able to sustain their businesses in a very big manner. Well, I see that now under current COVID conditions, the habit of cleanliness has come into all our units. Even things like tobacco and gutka is not going to be allowed in factories. So I think most of us will automatically develop the attitude of making a dust-free area, coming with product. Then we have to have also one more attitudinal change I have seen, that when you are producing a product for exports, it has to be made and packed in a way that it maintains the same shape and quality till the time it is put on the shelf, is picked up by a customer and he uses it. See, in international law, if anyone finds the product is not usable to his needs, he can reject it. And if he rejects it, you have really no recourse. You lose all your money. So these are the preconditions we all have to imbibe. Unless we have imbibed them, we are not going to get much success. And having said so, then the government definitely has to give us a level playing field. We have to be at par in terms of competitiveness. In India, we are still a high cost economy when we compare it with a lot of other countries. See, today, the price at which we buy diesel, the price at which we get electricity, we are paying much higher rates. Electricity is subsidized to the farmers and we have to pay the cross subsidization price to cover what is going to the farmers. Similarly, in this era, when petrol, diesel has internationally, oil is cheap, but we end up paying, almost 2/3 of the price which we give for these fuels is ending to be is taxes. So unless we are able to strip this all, then the inefficiency of our infrastructure, today a ship docks in Bombay, it goes out of Bombay after 7 days. In their various countries abroad who are very efficient, in 10 hours a ship will come, it will discharge all its cargo, pick the new cargo, and by next day it would have sailed out. So I mean, there is an overall requirement which has to be met, and I think it is a concerted effort right from the industry and the government. Both have to pull up their socks. Only then we'll be able to succeed. And then, as we are saying, to invite all foreign companies to set up base over there, I think a lot has to change. There are, you see, in China, most of the manufacturers were not very happy because in China there are no protection to copyrights and your proprietary laws. In India, we do have such laws, but we hardly have much enforcement. So I think in India, we have to provide them with that infrastructure, give them the ease of working. They can, the labor law changes is a very welcome step, which has already happened. So unless we congregate all these areas, the convergence thereof brings efficiency and leads us to a low-cost economy, we will not be able to fructify all the gains and excel the way we want to do. Thank you.
Thank you, sir. We have a question. Thank you, sir. We have a question from Mr. Raghavendra Datta Bora. So shall we call him up?
Yeah, please, go ahead. He's the office bearer of Federation, Joint Secretary.
Yeah, he was there. Are you there?
Yeah, I'm here. Good evening.
Good evening, yeah.
Would you like to turn your video on?
Yeah, it's okay. Please go ahead. It's stopped by you, I believe.
Yeah, go ahead with your question.
What I wanted to know is, you see most of the units in India are micro and small units. So do you think the way ahead is for micro and small units to form clusters, and bigger units or units who are already exporting, they should start considering these clusters as their suppliers? So this is a question to all of our panelists. Whoever feels comfortable, please go ahead and give an answer to this. Thank you.
Correct. Right. Ajit bhai.
Yeah. See, throughout the world, cluster concept is well accepted and it is well practiced. Unfortunately, in India, it has not received that much attention. Again, because of our mental blocks, we have to work out on that basis. As you very rightly mentioned, one large big company, which will be a face in the world market to the overseas, but it will be supported at the back end by many small companies who will be the supplier for this. Entire auto industry is built upon that basis. Printing industry can do, because there are certain advantages even to a small organization, as there are certain disadvantages. So large unit very strong in marketing, small unit very efficient in supplying. If we can take best of the both, I think cluster concept is something which will have a long contribution in India's exports if a scheme is properly designed and somebody should be there who can coordinate the people. Unfortunately, it is most of the time, I have worked earlier also for the cluster, I have found that it is an individual interest. It is a non-professional approach. It is a likes and dislike for a person. All these things are the reasons for which either the cluster have collapsed or cluster has not achieved the success what it can. But as an answer to your question, I can say cluster is one of the best way that you can work it out. Same thing what Mr. Bhupati also mentioned, teamwork. Everyone will have its plus and minus point. So let us do a cluster, unite together and bring the advantage India at our pace. Thank you.
Raghavendra, I like to answer. Raghavendra, you came up with a very novel idea of joining hand and supply to the world over. All big giants in India taken shake hand with the cluster. Only point is quality and consistency. We all should produce. So customer, this big giant should have confidence in our productivity, and we can win. I think you have a very novel idea. This can be worked out in different places, certainly.
Manoj bhai,
Yeah.
can I? Manoj bhai?
Yeah, Suresh, yes.
Yeah, I would like to add one more thing. Because Andrea, rightly you said, cluster is not that useful for Indian, but a lot of people who start a cluster also it was a failure. Why? Because they are not able to use to with this technology. Whereas you must have a lot of vendors. For example, you are a exporter. You must create vendors for post press, pre press vendors. If you are a printer, you have to post press pre printers like a small printers and give them training, and take them along with you. So all this combination definitely we can able to achieve exporter. Number one. Number two, these vendors also benefited once you exported. Those people also benefited indirect export, that deemed export. Those people also get the benefit. That's what the Indian now are doing. That's the only way we can able to survive in this industry.
Raghavendra. Raghavendra. I think he is answered. Okay.
I'm here.
Yeah. Madam.
So there's a question from Mr. Uday Dote.
Yeah. Please call him. Yes, he has mentioned that DNA must change. I like that.
So can I?
Yeah,
Sir,
please call him.
Can I turn your video on, sir?
Yeah.
Uday.
Sir, the cost of finance is also a big factor, whereas LIBOR is hovering around 1%, and look at the interest rates. I think this is one of the major things which we have not discussed so far.
Mm-hmm. Cost of
finance.
Yeah.
Whereas globally it is internationally, LIBOR is hovering around 1%. And
yes,
look at
in India it is. Yes.
Because most of our things
I
are
agree with you.
depending
Totally
on the capex.
Yeah. That is the biggest restraint which any industry to come in India, because Indian finance, bank finance is very costly. So definitely people will think twice, thrice before if they are seeking the finance in India from Indian bankers.
No, even our cost of production goes high, Manoj bhai.
Yeah.
Because of this cost of.
I agree with you.
There's something has to be done there, because I think that is also a major impediment.
Satish want to answer.
Can I respond?
Yeah, Satish.
Okay.
Yeah.
So can you hear me?
Yes.
Yes.
Yeah, we fully appreciate that international finance is at 1%, and today we get it finance to the Indian industry is 9 to 10%. Even if we factor in the 3% subvention which exporters are able to get, even then the cost ends up being 7 to 8%, which is really not very inviting. See, the window of international finance is also available to us Indians. But the past experience has shown that whenever we have utilized international finance at a very low rate, it is the exchange rate fluctuation which has literally killed us. So I think what is very important, if we analyze China, 20 years back, I think India and China were at the same level of GDP. In the last 2 to 3 decades, China overgrew us by 6 to 8 times. And I have not been watching China for the last 3 decades, but for the last 1.5 decade, I have seen that the Chinese currency has been very stable. So again, they are pegged to a dollar and their exchange rate has been almost stable. I would also advocate to the Indian government that they should formulate policies that our Indian rupee exchange rate remains stable. Because if they can guarantee the somewhat stability of the exchange rate, then we entrepreneurs will be very much enthused to avail international credit where we know that we are not going to be ripped off in the exchange rate fluctuation.
Satishji, but this international borrowing, even the ECB route is not allowed. No. The ECB route also has its problems. So,
so
for international borrowing also, what I'm saying is this has to open up also, along with the other factors.
Yes, and I feel, and I am sincerely feeling that our policy of letting our exchange rate or the rupee depreciate, thinking that it will bring us more business and more exports, I think it's a misnomer. Rather, by devaluing our rupee, we are losing our wealth. Our valuations are falling, and I think the government or the economists have to look into it. There are enough economic models in the world who have grown substantially by maintaining their exchange rates. Devaluing exchange rates has not been the right policy. And if the government, we are trying to make some representations. If the government can come to that, then I think our banking and international funds will be we will be not as bad off as we are. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you.
I think, Satish, you are absolutely right. Absolutely right.
Mr. Kamalji is here.
Yeah, madam.
Kamalji wants to ask a question.
Yeah, Kamalji.
Kamalji,
Yeah, actually, I wanted
can I turn your video?
Oh, sure. Why not? So, it's not working. Actually, I just wanted to.
Came.
Thank you.
Go ahead. Yeah.
I wanted to ask Satish a question because Satish is dealing in CAPEXL and all these activities. Nowadays, the Uttar Pradesh board has amended their law. There will not be 5 labor laws that will not be enforced for the next 3 years.
No. There's a problem with the voice.
Voice.
Close down your video to improve on voice.
Now it is okay.
Now it's better.
Satish sir, actually, you have been working with the CAPEXL and all other government agencies. You are also the government relation chairman. Recently, we came to know that Uttar Pradesh government has issued a circular that their 7 or 6 labor law will not be enforced for the next 3 years. Will it be? Will such a system will attract some foreign persons to establish? Will it be helpful?
Let me be very frank. The most of the very big foreign companies very much fear the Indian labor laws. They carry the phobia that Indian labor, if it is inefficient and if there are business situation changes, we don't have the liberty to hire and fire because they are accustomed to, paying good, getting good work. If there is no work, they will fire. And as far as social security, that is the responsibility of the government, not the responsibility of the business. See, in India, the government has put the social responsibility also on the businessman. That even if the person is inefficient, you cannot relieve him. So I think to some extent, these changes will imbibe a little more confidence. But then there are so many, it is a composite. There are 6-7 matters which need to change. See, I have interacted with some people. They also say that in India, the enforcement of contract, the very, very lethargic judiciary system, this also lowers their confidence. Very often, most of the foreign companies are not even permitted to buy freehold land. They have to lease out land to work over here. So, there are various, if we talk to them, I think they have a lot many asks from the government. See, Apple has been trying to set up a big base and the government is also inviting Apple to set up a big base. But even today, the asks from Apple still seem to be unreasonable to the government and they haven't yet been able to formulate a policy which is acceptable to both. So I think the dilution of the labor laws maybe is something in the right direction. Because I also carry the conviction that, you have to pay for work, pay for consideration, no work, no pay. But at the same time, as a humanitarian, the obligation of a person who is not able to get the job, the social security should lie with the government and not with the industrialist. You cannot make the industry sick. If the industry has to be efficient, they have to be given resources, efficient resources to work. This is my opinion.
Sir, that's what I think it is for the first time in the first 70 years that one government has removed those laws.
Yeah, and there are by evening will be hearing that there are some other states which are also following suit. So
Madam.
Manoj bhai.
Yeah.
Mr. Bhupati, would you like to talk to him? He wants to leave.
Who?
Mr. Bhupati.
Bhupati, yeah,
Manoj.
please.
It will be possible for them to work for them. So printer can get benefit even if any other factory comes.
It's a little voice
Thank
problem.
you. Thank you, Kamalji. Thank
voice
you.
problem.
Madam, next question.
Mr.
Madam?
Bhupati wants to leave, sir. So I would like
Yeah.
to ask if there is any question from the audience or.
Yeah. Hi, Mahesh. Thank you very much.
Sir,
Yeah,
can I
thank you
ask a
very
question?
much.
Sir, can I ask a question too?
Yeah, please go ahead.
So,
Yes,
I
Mahesh.
understand that you have a daughter and she's going to dance class. Can you tell about
Yeah.
your daughter? And is she
Sarah.
also into sports?
Yeah, she plays a little tennis. She does a little of everything right now. So obviously, because we're locked in, she's doing dance, she's doing gymnastics. I'm trying to monitor everything. So that's trying to keep them busy. You know how it is with kids.
Thank you, Mahesh, for your excellent
Thanks a
presence
lot, Uncle.
and your
I'll talk
time,
to you
valuable
soon.
time. Thank you.
Thank you very much for joining us.
Thank you, Mr. Mahesh.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Nice to. Yeah, Madam.
Yeah, sir. I'll check if there are any more questions on chat.
Yeah,
We have Mr. Bipin Shah.
Bipin Shah. Yeah, since beginning he is, I think, motivating us. So nice person.
Bipin, sir, would you like to say something? I'm unmuting you.
Bipin Shah.
So you can speak.
So there is
Can
no.
Can I turn your video on?
No, not at all. There is no question from my side.
No.
This is just my regards and my views on the current situations.
You can share something, sir, even if it's not a question.
Nothing to share.
Okay, thank you very much.
Thank you.
Bipin Shah. Thank you, Madam. Yeah, please.
Yeah, sir. Yeah, sir, we're
Conclude.
done with the question. I would like to request Mr. Rajendran, our General Secretary, to conclude the session. Sir, 1 second. I will.
Yeah. Can you hear me, everyone?
Yes.
Yeah, really, it's a very good session today. This is the first web council we have conducted through our AIFMP. I have to dear all finalists, moderator, and participants. It is indeed my proud privilege to propose a vote of thanks to me and for this galaxy of the celebrated panelist speakers. Really, everyone is the galaxy of the celebrated panelists who have today enriched this web council with their erudite scholarship on this important subject of the export promotion. When last week Mr. Manojji is discussed with me regarding this, Rajendra, why not we start with export promotion? Yeah, definitely, Manojji, we have to conduct our first webinar on behalf of our AIFMP, started with export promotion. So afterwards, we have to discuss about how to start this and everything. Immediately, Manoj Bhai said we have to invite our Mahesh Bhupati, tennis player, ex-tennis player, for our very grand success webinar. So afterwards, we have discussed in our OB and we got the very interesting thoughts in our OB meeting also regarding this. All the OBs are very interested to conduct this webinar. So accordingly, we started this with a successful manner. And then Web Council is why we have named this as a Web Council. In our AIFMP, we are actually doing our GC, Governing Council. So why we are actually calling as webinar? So we have to put the name of Web Council. We discussed with Manojji and other our moderator also. Lakshmi Priya madam. They said, correct sir, definitely we will do. And then AIFMP has thought it fit to conduct this first webinar on this subject because it has a great advantage. This is India advantage and potential growth prospects after this lockdown. We thank all the finalists for their excellent presentations and their subjects with a special emphasis on the usefulness to the printers. So many times we actually heard about Mr. Adisha's speech in our GC meeting regarding this export promotion, and we got very good knowledge and we get from Mr. Adisha. Today I have to thank Mr. Adisha as a special thanks to you. We should remember that the road to success is always under the construction. Road as to success, always under the construction, only the road as to success. Like that, we profusely thank Mr. Dr. Lakshmi Priya ma'am for being our moderator today. We also thank all the participants for their enthusiastic participation and hope they will be able to implement the ideas given by the experts for their business growth. Let us all in AIFMP go for much more web councils for our benefit, for our printers industry and fraternity. The best way to make history is to create it and then read it and follow it is the mantra. We have to start with AIFMP. Thank you, one and all. Thank you.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you.
Thank you, sir. It was a privilege for me to conduct this, to moderate this on behalf of the AIFMP. Actually, Manojji called me up last week, but then by the time we confirmed and decided, it became Wednesday. And then we never had any resources with us, no licensed version of Zoom, no website, and none of those online digital resources were there. So one by one, we had to build it up and do it. That's why we had some technical glitches. I'm sorry. Next time, I think I would be able to do it
Very nice.
much better.
You did the best job.
Madam, this is the starting. Definitely, we have to go with the success side always. Don't worry.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Lakshmi has done a very good job. I really appreciate it.
This export promotion is not my area also, so I had to get to know about what that was as well to moderate. So I also had a very nice experience. Thank you.
Thank you, Satish ji. Thank you, Ajit bhai. Thank you, Suresh ji.
Thank you,
President,
Manojji, and all the
Secretary General,
participants.
and
My president has not opened his
moderator.
mouth. My president is not opened his
Thank
mouth.
you.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you. Thank you. Bye.
This is all. Yeah, thank you. Webinar. So I'm very lucky person, and so this is what we are doing. So Manoj bhai already over telephone talked me about this. So now our next planning, we are going to romancing pin. So many things we have a planning. So this is today starting, and we are planning also GC meeting. But if it is going like that, because we have to steal government notification. If it is not possible, so we on time, I can assure you, but we'll now right now I can say, but we will decide. So finally, if it is not possible, we'll go to also webinar. We'll go to GC meeting also. This is
Yes,
now,
sir. I would also like to mention that we are live on YouTube now.
Yeah. It is live on YouTube this time, so it is better if anybody can in future.
Is it recorded?
Yeah. YouTube. It is recorded on YouTube. And last line, I like to, if anybody has to say something, otherwise I like to say, see, we learned something from Taiwan, the way there was no lockdown, and they were very, very near to China, and the way they have done the success. Like Narayan Murthy says, that delayed lockdown will be disaster. So all of us, we should be having a social distancing. It's a way of life now. These are new normals. Social distancing, wearing mask, sanitizing everything, and very disciplined. And definitely, I think there won't be any problem. So future post-COVID, definitely we'll all be successful. Thank you.
So we can see YouTube, Manojji.
Yeah, we are in YouTube. Yeah.
So how can we see this?
Madam will send you the link.
Link.
Yeah.
I'll share.
Link.
Okay. Thank you, madam. Thank you so much.
Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you very much for everyone. Thank you.
Thank you, everybody. Thank you, Ajit bhai. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you.